Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week Live. I am DJ Tony. I'm a real DJ from New Jersey. How you doing? I have a special guest on today, my friend Gerri. Gerri, how are you? Thanks for coming on Wellness Week Live. This is the part where you say thanks, Anthony. Okay. So, how's it going, Gerri? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm
Thanks for making
great, actually.
I see that. That's why I love you. You're great. You're not just good. Okay. So, I wanted to have you on, and I just said it off camera because, a lot of people, it's a good thing. We try, especially the new year, right? We try to work out, we try to change our diets and things like that. And I noticed over the past couple of years that you have gotten onto a particular exercise routine. And I like to rag on you a little bit about it. And it's the orange theory, and we're going to get into what that is. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, always consult with your healthcare professionals, your doctors, whatever. We're just giving our opinions. We're just having a conversation. And by the way, Gerri doesn't work for Orange Theory. She's not has no vested interest. So we're not plugging anything. Anyway, so I wanted to have you on because I've seen you like turning your life around physically and, I would imagine also mind health and everything ties together. So I was impressed with your journey and your new, not new, but the workout routine you're on with the Orange Theory, I guess gym chain or whatever. So I always like to see people not only start, but follow through. And you've done that. You started whatever a couple of years ago and you're still going. It's like, wow, kudos to you. Because not a lot of people do that, right? We sign up for something in New Year's and by like January 18th, we're done, but you're chugging along, February, March, April, man, a second year, third year, whatever. So I wanted to start off by asking you that I had, really a kind of a curiosity about, and I'm pulling up my question. So what got you into changing your lifestyle before we even get into the workout routine with Orange Theory? Like, what was the pivotal point, the paradigm shift where you're like, I gotta start to do X? What made you change or start to change physically, exercise and stuff?
So there was a couple of things that actually made me change. One is I've always been very self-conscious about how I look. And that's always been very, very important to me. When I was younger or, in my teens, I was always heavy and I was never really thin. But then once I started to really get thin, I never even looked at myself as thin. So I've always had this problem of, when am I really going to look great, in a bikini or whatever.
Right.
So I've always been very self-conscious. And having children, of course, did not help. That actually put on weight. I was 40 when I had my last child. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So that right there was was not good. And being diagnosed with hypothyroidism
right.
Was another thing. And and really the most important part was there was a show. I travel a lot. There was a business show that I had to go to, and I hadn't seen these people in many, many, many years. And of course, I wanted to look my absolute best because some of them I hadn't seen in like over 10 years. So that was really important for me to look as I did when I was in my, in my 30s or 20s. So
okay, so that was the impetus.
That's why.
Right. So the childbirth after 40, your appearance, the hypothyroidism. By the way, we're going to get into that too in a little bit. But when you mentioned hypothyroidism, were you already going into exercise and changing your routine, or no? The hypothyroidism was before or after you got into the Orange Theory and stuff like that?
It was before I got into Orange Theory.
Okay, so hypothyroidism
I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism before I got into my exercise routine.
Okay, and so then yes, back to what you're saying. So that was an impetus for you to start working out, so to speak.
At least try. Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. So, and back to that too, and this is what the show is about. It says it right here. A health and fit over 40. And obviously, I'm over 40, so are you. But kind of like I was saying off camera before, we get out of high school or college or military, or whatever, and that's it. It's like, can't they see you're busy, Gerri? Can't they see you're busy? Come dopo. No,
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're a busy lady.
I'm going to turn off my phone.
You're a busy lady. Hello. Oh, it's Gatorade. All right. So no, but I mean, like after we get out of high school and college, it's like downhill for everybody, right? You get married, you have kids, and your health and wellness goes out the window. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, is because it doesn't have to be that way. And I would make the argument it can't be that way. You have to stay healthy and strong for your family. You cannot be on the couch, washed up, physically and mentally. That's not good for the family. It's not good for you. And, you're actually motivating, I'm sure, your kids and your family when they see, wow, mom's doing that. They might not say anything, but they're watching, and subconsciously they're
Yes.
seeing, like, wow, like my mom is doing. They're not even going to verbalize it, but they feel it here. And they feel it here.
I
So
have two boys now, so yes, definitely. Hmm.
yeah, and they might not say anything to you. And even me, I'm ragging on you, making fun of you about Orange Theory. But hell, I got you on the show because I'm like, you know what? She's impressive. I mean, it's impressive.
Thank
So
you.
because not many people,
I'm honored to do this.
yeah, after high school or college, people fold up. I mean, so kudos to you. I mean, and again, not to
Oh, another thing,
go ahead.
just not to
Now you're
interrupt,
cutting me off, Jared. Go ahead.
but I have never ever been to any gym before, even when I was in high school.
So even
Never.
more intimidating, right?
100%.
Right.
Yes.
And we forget, especially us men, most women, not all, but most women will give birth, whether they get married or not. And giving birth, and I don't know, I'm not a woman, but it's probably giving birth is the most dangerous thing a woman can do. We forget in America, we think, oh yeah, giving birth.
Right.
Thousands of women die every year in America giving birth. So that's very dangerous, number one, to give birth. Number two, it destroys the body, right? I mean, it puts such a stress. I mean, and I think us men and people who are not having given birth don't understand, like, it's a game changer, and oftentimes not for the better once you give birth. Right. We love our children, all that stuff, understood. But the physicality of giving birth. So again, kudos to you and all the women out there that
I also had complications.
That's what I'm saying.
So I was bedridden for like 9 months.
There you go.
Whatever.
You're proving my point, right? Yeah. So even more kudos to you. All those years later, you get up, you dust yourself off. You're like, no, I'm not taking this. I'm going to, and nothing's about perfection. We all fail. You get back up, you try. You get back up, you try. And that's what you're personifying here. And that's what I wanted to have you on for. And I think a lot of guys don't fully understand it because we don't give birth. We don't have to carry an 8-pound bowling ball in our body for 8+ months. So, and then, right, you said the complications afterwards are endless, so kudos to you. All right. So now, why Orange Theory and not another place, or like what drew you to Orange Theory? Because I have a tertiary understanding of what Orange Theory is. So let's go around, backtrack real quick. What is Orange Theory?
Okay. It is a workout gym that people go to, and it's you actually have to make an appointment to go.
Was that before pandemic or after pandemic?
Oh, before pandemic. Okay. This is Orange Theory. You make an appointment to go there to give 1 hour, Orange, yes, 1 hour of your time, and it's a it's a studio. I call it more of a studio because it's really not a gym where you just walk in anytime you want and you have to know what exercises to do. Absolutely not. Orange Theory. There's a reason why it's called Orange Theory. And but basically it is a workout studio that you go to, and you have a coach or a trainer with you, and there's a whole lot of other people there. Sometimes you can have 10 up to, before the pandemic there was like 40 people, 3 different stations, and the coach is telling you what to do on every single station. So you never have to think of what you need to do or how to do it. They show you what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
So that's really Orange Theory. And of course, the Orange Theory is based on the 12 splat points that you will get once you do your 60-minute workout, or sometimes there's even a 45-minute workout. You get these they're called splat points. And what they are is they want you 12 minutes in the orange and red zone. And it's not that they want you there, but the program is designed to let you get those 12 splat points. Once you get those 12 splat points, or those 12 minutes in the orange and red zone, you actually reach what's called EPOC. And I don't know all about
that's
this,
for the fat burning or oxygen
burning
level
process, where you now burn 20% more calories within the next 24 to 48 hours. So that's the whole concept of Orange Theory and what
so
it is.
You always have to make an appointment prior. You can't just walk in.
Well, now because it's after pandemic, there people are trying to get in. Well, it's not that you have to make an appointment. In other words, they have classes. They start at 5 a.m. and then they go to like 6, 6:15, 7. They have all different times in the morning.
Right.
The first class starts at 5 o'clock. So that to me is what drew me to it too, is because, like, hey, 5 o'clock in the morning, my whole family is asleep. no one is awake
Right. You can
anywhere.
go do your
So I
thing.
can
Right.
go in and, no one will even know I'm doing this. If it
Right.
works out, great. If it doesn't, hey, it's a month or two of my life that I can just go back to doing my normal self.
Right. Now, Orange Theory is you're only working out with machinery, or is there or there's like
So
is it
there's
free
three.
weights? Is it
Mhm.
aerobics? Is swimming?
Sure.
Like
So they have, if I remember correctly, there are different day. Every day is a different program, and there are thousands of studios around the country and the world, and everyone is doing the same exact program that particular day, and they won't repeat it after that program is done. They change it the next day, so you're not doing anything the same way every single day.
right.
So they focus on three different things. It's strength, strength days, endurance days, and power days. Those
Right.
are the three. So when you walk in, you have three different stations. You either start on the rower, on the treadmill, or on the weight floor.
I see.
So as someone is doing the rower, someone else is on the treadmill and the other people are on the weight floor. And they basically tell you, like, one day you might be doing 250 meters on the row, and you might be doing your tread, which is, just a tread is running. It might be on climbing a hill. It may be on flat. They teach you what your power, what your push time is, what
Right.
your all out speed is, and then you do your weight floor, which is there are weights,
Free weights, whatever. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
for
So
your
this. Okay,
body.
I get it. Okay. Awesome. So I was going to ask you too is that and I think that's important that
So
you
why
say.
did I start Orange Theory, right?
Well, why that? Well, yeah, I was going to ask that, but also I was going to say that it's also good that there's a trainer there with you the whole time, right?
100% the whole
That's
time he's
that's
there.
motivational. It's accountability. That's
Right.
good because
So
that's why a lot of
yes,
people
and
fail. They don't
exactly.
have a
So it's not as expensive as having a trainer, a personal trainer, but yet they call them coach because they're
right,
really, they're not trained, but they are trainers who are coaching you. And if
right,
they see that you're doing the wrong move, they'll tell you.
right.
If you go in and say, "Hey, listen, my calf hurts today," they'll give you a different move, or
And you
they'll
go at your own pace.
exactly your
So if you're
own
20
pace.
years old or 120,
You
they're
could
going
be
to
next to
customize
someone
it.
who's training for a triathlon,
Right.
and you could be somebody that's next to you who's just losing weight like I am.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, now to that other question, right? So why them and not the other places that are out there, which I'm sure they're good in their own way, but why this particular? Why does this fit you?
Right. So I said before that I've never ever been to a gym.
Right.
Never. I'm not an athlete.
Right.
Never been to a gym. Don't like running. Hate any form of exercise. My biggest exercise was doing sit-ups. Hate push-ups, sit-ups, and jump rope. That was
Right.
it. That was
Right.
me. My
Right.
whole life, and I've never really had to exercise. I didn't think I had to. Right.
Right.
So I won a tricky tray basket.
Ah.
I didn't even put I didn't think I put my number in, but
That
I
might
mean,
have been one I DJ'd, by the way. Who knows? But go ahead.
yes, I think it was
Probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
Probably, yes. So that's exactly right, because I came back to my table. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't put my number in here. So, oh,
Okay.
yeah, it was in there. I was like, oh, it was probably for something else. And you know how
Right.
those things work, right? So I get this book. Actually, I'm going to show you the book. It's called Push. So this book this book came with this basket.
Right.
And it was a guide to living an all out life, the story of Orange Theory Fitness.
Ah.
So I'm a big reader and I like to investigate everything, and I
Right.
don't take anything just by
Right.
So I started reading it, and it seemed really cool because I said, oh wow, you just go in there and they show you what to do. And it was interesting that there was actually a science behind it with the points. They give you a heart rate monitor so you can actually monitor the entire time that you're there. And I had, of course, hypothyroidism, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm going to try this. I really need to lose weight, and I cannot seem to lose weight. My thinking of losing weight was, okay, stop eating. So I will starve like water all day, and then I'll get back on the scale. I'm like, I didn't lose anything,
Yeah.
or I might lose like a half a pound, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
I'll have a glass of wine, and I'm like, oh, there it goes. I know I'm
Yeah.
going to gain a pound by
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So nutrition was obviously not working for me. It was not my diet, because I was not binging out on chips or anything. It was definitely, I thought, well, maybe it is
Motion getting
exercise.
up. Yeah.
Right. So let me try it. What do I have to lose? I had like 5 classes for free. I'm like, hey, might as well, right?
So
So I went in and I tried it. And it's like, oh, wow, I got my more than 12, this is good. I'll do it again. I'll do it
right,
again.
right.
And it was in the summer. It wasn't a January month or
Okay. Wow. Even
middle of the summer. I was going on vacation in the middle of the desert, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to sign up now, but
right,
I'll sign up later. So
right.
when I was out there I think it was in Arizona or something. I don't remember what vacation it was. I saw that there were other Orange Theories. I happened to notice other Orange Theories around.
You had your antenna up.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, well, I travel, and it seems to be in a lot of places.
They're
And
everywhere.
yes, and then when I came back, from my vacation, they said, yeah, you can go anywhere you want. You don't have to just come here. So
Cool.
that was another reason why I was like, oh, I'm going to try this. So I signed up, and
Right. And the
within a
rest.
year, I lost 35 pounds. I was
Oh
like,
my God. Yeah. I mean, I even noticed it too. And it's not like I live next door to you, but the times
yeah.
I see them, oh, wow. Like she looked like she lost weight,
So I
and
don't know if you can see. Let me see.
the before and
I
after.
actually did a. Okay, so this was me
Oh, wow.
before
Yeah.
OTF in
Yeah.
2016.
Wow.
That was
Okay.
because of
I could
my
tell already.
hypothyroidism,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then this was me a year after,
Right.
and then this is me like a couple of years ago, last year actually,
Oh my
2021.
God. Yeah. That is night and day. I mean, you don't even look like the same person.
You know what? I don't feel that I lost all that weight. I don't.
Right. Well, it came off
And
gradually.
it's all in my brain though. Like I don't feel like I'm that thin. I
And
still
also you it happened gradually, and
correct.
that's the great thing. I mean, so
Yes.
and Orange Theory should be frigging cutting me a check. I'm giving them all this airtime for nothing. But yeah, no, but you look, I'm happy that you found something that worked for you, and to each his own, right? Everyone has to do what works for them. So now let's talk about I'm going to skip real quick here, but
Yes.
you mentioned, that, okay, you weren't eating, drinking water. I know that a little tongue in cheek there because obviously you have to eat, but so has your diet, and diet's a bad word, has your food consumption or nutrition changed? Or I would imagine so, right? Because if Orange Theory is probably
Believe it or not, it hasn't. When I
okay,
tell you, and everybody used to ask me the same thing, like, what did you do? What did you do? What are you eating different? And I'm
right.
like, nothing. I'm not eating anything different. And actually, I think it's more like right now I've hit a plateau where I know I have to go to a dietitian. I'm 100% sure I have to.
I'm a big proponent of that. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I really do. And because it's part of it says, because when you have a disease like hypothyroidism, there's certain foods that you have to stay away from or
Right.
certain foods that you have to eat. And that's what I need to really find out now is like,
Mm-hmm.
what do I need to do to maintain all this work that I did?
Yeah,
I don't want it to go to waste and gain the weight again.
Right. And we had two licensed dietitians on this show here.
I have to look. Yes.
Yeah, I can forward you the interviews. One's from Bergen County. The other one is from Passaic County. We also have a nutritionist on the show. But anyways, yeah, I'm a big proponent of that. Food is medicine, and it can hurt or help.
Exactly.
And I always tell people, if you're banging down sodas and beers and chips and cookies and cake, especially in my opinion, well, it's not even my opinion, but overconsumption, that's a relative word, but overconsumption of bread, pasta, refined carbs, bread, pasta,
Refined
bagels.
carbs. Exactly. Yep.
Right. So my thing is we need carbohydrates,
Correct.
but from vegetables and legumes and nuts, not coming from, and we're both Italian, but it's like the overconsumption of pasta bread. It'll kill you. I mean, so, and again, not to say don't eat pasta and bread. I'm not saying to you, but I'm saying people in general. But anyway, so yeah, the dietitian, let me tell you, you're hitting it on the head there, boy. You get the dietitian, you got Orange Theory, you're going to be like, forget it, invincible, So
I don't think so.
you're already kicking butt.
I'm hoping I'm going to live to 100 years old.
Well, my thing is this too, right? I tell people that. I'm not even looking to live to 100. My thing is I want to live a quality, short life because you can live to 100, but be miserable, right?
That's true. Exactly.
I know a lot of people that are in their 70s and 80s and 90s, and they're not looking too good. So what good is existing? I want to live. And if I live to 50, but it's quality, cool. If I live to 100 and it's quality, cool. And a lot of that is what we eat and how we move, right? Exercise. Right. So you're on it. You're on top of it here. Yeah. So real quick, okay. So hypothyroidism. So you mentioned this. So what is hypothyroidism?
So obviously I'm not a doctor, so I really.
But you know what it is. I mean, you have this,
right? But I know. Well, hypothyroidism is when your metabolism doesn't work.
It's an over. Gland.
It's a Say it again. It's your
from your
thyroid
thyroid
gland.
gland, right?
Correct. It's your thyroid gland. It's an underactive thyroid. So
Right.
your thyroid works with your metabolism or controls your metabolism. So
Right.
when you have hypothyroidism, your metabolism isn't working as well as it should. So that
Right.
means you gain weight. I mean, that's just one of the things that happens. And there's
Right.
other things as well. But one of the things is gaining weight. And there's medicine that they give you for it. I'm on Synthroid, and you take Synthroid, and that sort of regulates your metabolism at that point. And then, of course, when you start an exercise regime, then you have to keep doing that, because if not, your body doesn't understand that you stopped. Your body thinks that your metabolism is still going. And when you're not doing it, then you sort of go back, and maybe they have to. So far, I've never had to take more than I do. I think I take like 50 milligrams of,
Right. Yeah.
the Synthroid. And it's different than Hashimoto's disease.
Right. Hashimoto's is right.
Exactly. It's an autoimmune. Right. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, because I was doing some research on it too. I'm like, wow, like what the heck? What is the thyroid? What does it do? I mean, it says thyroid regulates the body's metabolic rate, controlling heart, muscle, digestive function, brain development, and bone maintenance. My God, this little tiny organ in here, like that. I didn't know it was that powerful that it controlled like so much. And so you're on the medication, and I think I can't help but to believe, like, you having a healthy lifestyle, you going to go down the road to a dietitian, that's all going to help the thyroid problem, because again, lifestyle doesn't cure everything, but it can stack the odds in your favor. I mean, again, like if you're living on beer and soda and chips, I can imagine that can't be helping the thyroid.
Right.
I'm not saying
and it is a lifestyle. It's exactly what you said. It's a lifestyle. I don't care what diet or exercise routine you do. It's a lifestyle that you need to live.
Right. Yeah. I hate the D word, diet, because that sounds so temporary and so
exactly.
Like just so coerced and forced. It's lifestyle. It's nutrition. I always say you wouldn't.
Everything.
Yeah. Listen, I always tell people you would not put shit gas in a Ferrari. You would put premium gas in a Ferrari. And I'd say our bodies are Ferraris. Our bodies are worth more than a Ferrari. So we can't put crap in the Ferrari. You can't put again alcohol and you smoking the soda and the juicy drinks and
and it's the same thing. Like when I go, I travel a lot. I know you've probably seen, I constantly, I mean, I shouldn't say that I'm constantly traveling, but at least once a month, I'm somewhere for a week.
About.
Yeah. And even when people think, oh, well, you're at a hotel, you're going to eat out a lot. No, absolutely not. You should see, like, I literally go and I'll buy salads at the grocery store. I'll go to a grocery store. I'll go to Publix. I'll go to a Kroger. Wherever I am, I will find a grocery store and get healthy food to eat in the morning and noon. And like sometimes at night, I'll go out for dinner with whatever. But it's not like I'm eating out all the time.
And there's healthy options too. Even if you went out to eat every time, I tell people you could eat at McDonald's.
Have your salads. I've been
exactly. You could eat at Wendy's every day and be healthy. They have water instead of soda. Wow, there's an idea.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, yeah.
Yep. And even like on a cruise where they have buffets all the time, you don't have to eat what they have. Have your salad at lunch. Have your healthy breakfast, and then you can have a dessert at night a couple of times a week. It's the same dessert every day.
And by the way, you feel better. I always tell people when you're eating right and you're getting some kind of exercise, it's not a punishment. It's your life is better. And most of it helps this up in your brain.
Yes.
Okay, so what is a typical breakfast for you?
So when
don't tell me you're eating panettone. Oh,
my coffee. I love my coffee.
Don't tell me you're eating panettone. Go ahead.
No, usually I will have sometimes if I'm hungry, if I'm really hungry, because breakfast is another subject, right? To talk about. It's like when you break your fast. It's not necessarily right. Okay. So sometimes I will have yogurt with granola and berries, which is really awesome.
There you go.
Sometimes I don't have the granola. Sometimes it's just sometimes it's cottage cheese, and some fruit,
calcium. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. What about now? Again,
I'll have eggs, but I usually
eggs
will
are
have
probably the single best food you could eat.
I know I'm learning that now, but I don't know. But sometimes I'll just have egg white, with leftover vegetables from the night before, and I'll throw that in.
Yeah. Okay. So and again, nobody's perfect. I like my junk food too once in a while. So what is a typical lunch for you, generally speaking? What would you eat for lunch?
If I was hungry and it was lunchtime, I would have a salad. I love my salads.
Yeah, me too. And roughage is so important. It's funny. I just started eating salad every other day And I always knew salad was healthy, but the more I read, doctors left and right, they say roughage,
Yes.
dietitians too, roughage. So I force
Yep.
myself. I like salad. I'm not my favorite, but I'll put whatever
I love
balsamic
it.
on it.
Yep.
Something light.
Balsamic vinegar and oil. I don't buy
Right,
any of the processed dressings.
right. Because some of the dressings
Because
can
I
be
work in
worse.
the food industry. I don't.
No, but I'm just saying, because people say, "Oh, I'll have a salad," but then they put, I'm not going to name the type of dressing, but the dressing's got 10,000 calories. It's like, buddy, you just
Exactly.
defeated the whole purpose. Like balsamic,
Yes.
read the
Yep.
back of the label.
Balsamic. Yep.
I was in a
Exactly.
dinner. You come home, whatever
So
you're out.
dinner, I cook dinner, right?
Generally
And
speaking, though, like what you eating meats, fish, like what do you?
everything. Like
Okay,
honestly, anything that the kids want. Sometimes it's hamburgers, sometimes it's beef,
right.
steak, sometimes it's pasta with vegetables in it, sometimes it's chicken. Um, you
Okay,
know, I most of the times I cook
right.
my own.
Well, that's another
And
thing I tell
yeah,
people. If you want to eat healthier, teach yourself how to cook. They have a thing called
yes,
YouTube now. You can go on YouTube. I cook every day, and I'm no chef, but you eat healthier when you cook for yourself. I mean, you know that, I know that, but a
100.
lot of, and I
Yes,
think people think like cooking for yourself, I have to spend 10 hours. Like it takes, for me, a one person, maybe 8 minutes. If you have a family of four, it might take you 30 minutes. It doesn't have to
correct.
be laborious.
Under an hour, and you can have a really good
Oh my
cooked meal.
God. Yeah, versus ordering out where it's gonna just be garbage,
Yep.
usually. So
And
no,
you could, yeah, even the, like sometimes if you are busy all day, I have the slow cooker too, that helps out a lot.
I move right there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, so in closing, let's talk about food. We talked about Italian food before. So you're Italian, io sono italiano. So I think here's my theory. No pun intended, aren't you? My theory is that American Italian food, not Italian food, American Italian food is a big culprit why so many Americans have type 2 diabetes, because it is the over inundation of refined carbohydrates and pasta bread. You go to some of these restaurants, especially the chain ones, they bring you out a basket of pasta. Now, I know you've been to Italy, right? Yes, of course, right?
Oh, tons of
I'm just making
times.
sure. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
so have I, and my family's from Italy, whatever. And
Yes.
you eat in Italy, the bread they might bring you out is piccolo. Okay, you go to some of these chain restaurants, the bread the bread they bring out in some of these chain American places it is a casket of bread. My
Correct.
point is it's the over inundation of, and a bowl of pasta in Italy might be like this. A bowl of pasta in America is like this.
Oh, that's true too. I see.
Everything is
Yes.
just bastardized, and it's almost like a caricature of real Italian food. My point is, I think there's a lot of reasons why people have type 2 diabetes in this country, but I think one of the main culprits is how us Americans have warped the Italian cuisine. Because I tell people, listen, you go to Italy, I don't know if anybody realizes, my people, look at the map. Italy's a peninsula, okay? That means it's a lot of fish, a lot of seafood. It's a
Yes.
Mediterranean country. It's similar to Greek food. It's not a lot of, there's some bread, some pasta, but it's not like an American Italian dish. And I think, again, the over consumption of refined carbohydrates is killing us. That's your breads and your pastas. And no one's saying never eat it, but even a cup of coffee in America. I mean, a cup of coffee in America versus a cup of coffee in Italy, right? A tazza cafe in Italy. I swear to God, it might be like this big. This is my cup of coffee here in America, right here.
This is mine, right here.
Look at the size of this thing. Right. They don't have this in Italy. This doesn't exist. Like, but in
Cappuccinos. They have
America,
cappuccinos.
right. And a tazza cappuccino in Italy, again, might be like this.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, in America, a cup of cappuccino is like this. Everything is bastardized. Now I don't know. Here's the other thing. People say, "Hey, fried calamari, hey, Friday." I'm like, hold on, stop. Pasta. In Italy, I don't even think they fry anything. But when I was in Italy, we had calamari, it was grilled. Like, everything is so warped and
fried calamari is on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and even that, it's just, so my point is, I think the American Italian diet is hurting a lot of people, and especially in my circles. And it's just like, yeah, dude, that's not how Italians eat, though. It's like we don't overeat, and we don't. I
think it's also
everything.
Right, but I also think, yes, you're right on that, but I also feel, and it goes back to the lifestyle. There's a couple of books out, Saint-Tropez diet, and I've actually met the authors of these books, and yes, they do encourage eating fish. Yes, they do encourage eating lighter foods, but I feel it's the lifestyle. When you go to Italy, first of all, they don't eat heavy meals, pasta and your meats at night for dinner. They eat that at 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
It's
pranzo.
pranzo, right?
Yeah.
For lunch, that's when they eat those foods. So you have a lot of time to digest it before you go to bed,
Right.
right? And also they don't have cars like we do. They don't drive
That's the
everywhere.
other. Yes. When I
Go
was
to
there,
France, you go to Italy, France. I mean, yeah, France,
anything in Europe,
Italy,
Greece,
Spain,
Spain,
they
yeah.
walk everywhere. And I've been to
Camina.
a couple of countries. Exactly. They utilize their feet to walk,
Yes.
and that also burns the calories and burns the carbs. So even though they're eating their pastas and their breads, they're eating them at different times, and their lifestyle is different.
They're
That's
getting up.
how I feel.
Oh, 100%. When I was there, after every meal, especially
They
after,
go out.
literally we went out. I'm like, why are we
And yes,
walking
they do
again?
sleep in the afternoon,
Right.
but
Yeah,
they
have it.
sleep so
Right.
they could
Siesta.
go out at night and
Right.
eat light.
It's a very pedestrian society in Europe, particularly
Absolutely.
Italy and Greece. But you see,
And not
Americans,
just by Italy, Greece,
right? Spain, Portugal.
Spain,
We don't
France.
like that here in America. We want to
Yeah.
gorge ourselves in 2 loaves of bread, 3 bowls of pasta,
Correct.
soda, beer, and then go sit down and watch the game. Like, you're gonna give
Right.
yourself type 2 diabetes, and it happens. I see it. It's all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not an Italian lifestyle, but it
No.
drives me nuts because people are like, I'm Italian. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're
And it's
stop.
more like a Mediterranean lifestyle, right? It's the
The
Mediterranean
real Italian
diet.
is, yes,
Really.
not what we do in America. We bastardize the.
Right.
And by the way, I have friends who are from China. They'll say the same thing. They go, Anthony, American Chinese food? That's not
It's not
Chinese
the
food, right? It's different than Chinese food. I'm like, oh, so it's not just us Italians that are right.
Correct.
So same thing, you know.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, everything, you know,
Yes.
us Americans will destroy
'Cause
anything.
we want
that has
everything
nutrients.
fast. You know, we want everything done quick. You know, we want to go into the freezer. We want to be able to get something, come in, you know, put your chopped meat or whatever inside we want dinner in 15 minutes. We don't know how to do it. You know, they don't teach you how to do it here.
Well, I had to laugh
What?
because growing up, we didn't own a microwave. We didn't own, like, I think I just got a microwave like 5 years ago, you know. It just, like, well, I'm being facetious, but my point is, like,
Yes.
growing up, yeah, I think
There's
we
no
barely had a
microwave.
toaster. Like, but to your point, and by the way, in Italy, there's water everywhere, bottles of water everywhere. You very rarely do you see
Fountains.
soda
There's
and
fountains,
juicy
right?
drinks.
Remember the water that comes out of the fountains
Right.
in the plazas or wherever? Yeah. Water.
But yeah, so if people, you know, hey, out there, if people think they're real Italian, and start eating like that. You know, more water, less beer, more water, less juicy drinks, more water, less soda. That's a healthy diet. So yeah, I want to encourage everybody, follow the Italian diet, and you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, and then you can say, like, right, walk, get up every day. They're doing that. You know, I mean, we're about to lose our mind because gasoline's going to $4 a gallon. I'm like, bravo, let it go to $10 a gallon because I have to walk more. You're helping me out. You know, like what? You know, so. But anyways, so yeah. So that's that. But okay. So was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up? Because I want to respect your time. I know you're in your happy place, your office. Leave me alone. I'm working. What's that?
I'm fine. Okay. There's really nothing else, I think.
Yeah, no, you were great. And again, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it's motivational for me. I know I'm always, like I said, joking around with you with the orange
therapy. It is my therapy.
But that's what I was about to say. They might as well call it orange theory or orange therapy because physical motion, exercise is probably more beneficial than anything for the mind. It helps you release your tension, your stress. I mean, so you know that. I mean, it's like that's also another happy place for you, right? I'm going to work out. Leave me alone.
Right.
So, but anyways, so thank you, Gerri, so much. Thank you, everybody. Oh, by the way,
thank you for having me.
Oh, come on,
such a pleasure and it was an honor, really.
Come on, you're the best. Who's better than you? Who's better than us? We're Italian. Sono Italiano. Wait, I got high tech editing over here, ladies and gentlemen. If you can please like and subscribe. That's it. Tell a friend. Look at that. I'm too cheap to do the real editing, so I just do this.
That's great.
But anyways, thank you so much, and keep doing your thing. I'm proud of you. You're motivating me.
Oh, great. All right. Oh, actually, one more thing.
See, I knew it.
Can I plug in my YouTube channel?
It's
called Just Ask Gerri, and there's easy cooking things to do on there.
Okay, so Just Ask Gerri, and that's
Gerri,
Gerri. Just Ask Gerri on YouTube. By the way, I think I've seen a few of your programs during the pandemic you were cooking, right?
That's right. That's when I started it.
Yeah, you should keep doing it because people,
I know.
In my opinion, exercise is important, but before exercise, really, what food is medicine.
Yes.
Exercise is important, but I think the most important thing is what we consume is number one, and exercise number two. Because you can't exercise 5 times a day, but you're going to eat 5 times a day. So what we put in our mouth is so important. So yeah, you got to get back on that. And so check her YouTube channel out. And if you want authentic real Italian cooking. But anyways, so I'm signing off. Thank you so much, Gerri, for making time for me here on Wellness Week. Thank you, everybody. Check back in. We got another great bunch of shows coming up. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Have a good day, Gerri.
Thank you.